This is your news source evening bulletin for today, Tuesday, the 25th day of April in the year 2023. I'm Gordon Mosley reporting, and here's what we're tracking tonight. The Criminal Law Procedure Amendment Bill was unanimously passed by the National Assembly on Monday. The updated legislation strips the Director of Public Prosecutions of the power to direct a magistrate to reopen a case after that case might have been dismissed. The DPP had the powers to direct a magistrate to have an accused committed to stand trial in the High Court. However, under the amended legislation, the DPP must now apply to the High Court for the case to be reopened. With the passage of the bill, Section 72 of the Principal Act has been deleted, and the new Section 72 has been incorporated into the legislation, according to the Attorney General Anil Nandlal.
If the DPP is aggrieved by a decision of the magistrate who discharges an accused person at the conclusion of a PI within 3 months, the DPP must make this application to a judge in chambers.
It was noted that once a request to reopen a case reaches the judge, it is that judge who can approve or reject the application by the DPP. The amendment is in keeping with the March 2022 decision of the Caribbean Court of Justice in the Marcus Bisram versus DPP case. Attorney General Anil Nandlal explained that in that case, the presiding magistrate found that a prima facie case had not been made out against the murder accused, thereby dismissing the case. But using her powers under the original legislation, DPP Shalimar Ali Haq directed the magistrate to reopen the preliminary inquiry and to commit the accused to stand trial before a High Court judge. Bisram challenged that decision of the DPP right up to the Caribbean Court of Justice on the basis that the decision was unconstitutional and had undermined the independence of the local judiciary. The CCJ agreed with the arguments from Bisram's attorneys.
It is hereby declared that Section 72 of the Criminal Law Procedure Act violates the separation of powers and is also inconsistent with Article 122A and Article 144 of the Constitution. The CCJ went on to make the following pronouncement, and I quote, "Until the National Assembly makes suitable provisions, Section 72 is modified to excise those provisions permitting the DPP to direct the magistrate. In lieu thereof, a DPP aggrieved at the discharge of an accused person by a magistrate after the whole of the proceedings at a PI may apply ex parte to a judge of the Supreme Court for an order that the discharged person be arrested and committed, if the judge is of the view that the material placed before the judge justify such a course of action."
The bill received the support of the opposition. APNU AFC Member of Parliament Kamaraj Ramjatan said the move to overhaul that section of the legislation to reduce the powers of the DPP and place it in the hands of a judge is a step in the right direction.
The judiciary, in the sense of judges being given the power now to ensure that they deal with this matter of prima facie case rather than the DPP, I think is putting it and residing it in the proper place. And I totally agree too that it should not be ex parte. There is a natural justice principle that should remain for the accused in any serious matter where imprisonment and even hanging are the penalties, that they should be given that right to be heard. And so, although there might be a little variation from that which was suggested by the CCJ, I believe that that variation is commendable in the form that it has taken here.
With the amendment bill passed, it will now become law when the President assents to it. More news coming up in just a moment.
It's been a long time coming. Overdue, some might say, but now that it's here, it will change life forever, and it is here to stay. The future is now, transforming Guyana into the 21st century. Introducing GTT Fiber. Experience internet connectivity like never before. speeds you deserve at prices you can afford from a name you can trust. Sign up today. GTT Fiber is here. GTT. Together, we rise faster.
At Giftland Office Max, we're all about customer satisfaction. Whether it's clothing and shoes for the ladies, gents, and kids, or for the latest electronics or hardware appliance, we're always thinking of satisfying you, our dear customers. Now you can shop online at www.giftlandofficemax.com or visit us at the Giftland Mall, where we're happy to serve each and every one of you.
Purple Arts Productions presents A Treat for My Mother's 6 on Mother's Day, Sunday, May 14th at the National Cultural Center. Beverly Smith, Mosa Telford, Leona Walton, Paul Budno, Nikhil Sankar, and others. Compliments of Hello City, Munish Wars, Elsie Pasad Muraj and Sons, Sunflower Jewelry, Kissun's Furniture Store, Survivor Shopping Complex, NDNS Furniture Store, 8 p.m. sharp. Tickets $25 and $2,000. Directed by Simone Dowling.
Bust the flavors. We're full of flavors. Bust the flavors, that my crave for. We're full of flavors. Tell your neighbors about the bust the flavors. Grab a bust the flavors. Yeah, thirst buster. Grab a buster. Bust the flavor, taste the savor. Bust the flavors. Bust the flavors.
Strong and solid in countries far and wide. New India Assurance, we're standing by your side. Golden service, half a century and more. New India Assurance, our policies are secure. From the heart of India, we serve these islands. The strength that you can trust, you're safe when you come to us.
New India Assurance Company. Assurance when you need it most.
For your home, motor, or business insurance, visit New India Guyana office, 58 Brickdam next to Star Computers. Telephone 2260415-7. Comfortable parking available.
Declaring that persons now have a second opportunity to pursue higher education and ultimately land themselves in well-paying jobs, President Irfan Ali today urged hundreds of persons who graduated from the Get Ready for Opportunities to Work initiative to pursue higher education, to contribute to the various sectors of the country's economy that has been transforming at a fast rate.
Today, you're offered a renewed opportunity to further your studies in universities across the world and right here in Guyana. Many of you would have been told 2 years ago, 3 years ago, some 10 years ago, 15 years ago, because there is no age limit on those who are studying under the Gold program, that you did not have the entry requirement. Today, all of you have the entry requirement to pursue any university degree you wish to so do.
The GROW programs are for persons who were unsuccessful in CSEC examinations but wish to pursue a degree program. Upon completing the two programs being offered, persons will be eligible to start a degree program.
I urge you today to let this step in your educational quest be one that uplifts you personally, one that contributes to the upliftment of your community, and ultimately one that uplifts our country and take our country closer to greater prosperity.
The president urged graduates to be careful in their decision-making when choosing a career path. He said the takeoff in the services and health sectors should be highly considered. The head of state also urged that consideration be given to the technical fields which are now required for the oil and gas sector.
We want you to transition yourself to be able to participate in this sector of our economy. Secondly, we are building a healthcare system that requires tremendous human asset in nursing, medical care, nursing assistants, caregivers, and indeed, there is a tremendous global shortage in this field. I urge you to examine the possibilities in this field.
The Education Minister Priya Manik Chand said those who participated in the initiative now have opportunities they would not have had before. She said the government is happy to provide the opportunity to give persons a second chance to grow. Less than 3 months after the National Assembly approved the country's $781.9 billion budget, the government has returned to the House for an additional $31 billion in supplementary funding to facilitate payments to indigenous communities from the sale of carbon credits. The supplementary bill was presented to the National Assembly on Tuesday by Minister of Parliamentary Affairs and Governance Gilda Shearer on behalf of the Minister of Finance Dr. Ashwini Singh, who was absent from the sitting. The sale of carbon credits forms a major part of the government's local carbon development strategy, which is designed to monetize the country's climate and ecosystem services. In a statement, the Ministry of Finance said that approximately $4.7 billion will be used to facilitate village-led investments, with some 240 indigenous communities on the line to receive the money. The statement said after the 7-month national consultation on the LCDS 2030, it was agreed that 15% of all revenues received from the sale of carbon credits be paid directly to indigenous and local communities across the country. The Finance Ministry explained that between January and February of this year, the National Two-House Council spearheaded consultations on a structure for the allocation of the carbon credit payments. The structure, according to the Finance Ministry, centers on the determination of payments based on population and includes villages, both titled and untitled areas, communities, and satellites. Additionally, 85% of earnings from the sale of carbon credits, which will total more than $127 million for this year, will be used to address the most urgent priorities of low-carbon development, as well as climate adaptation and mitigation interventions outlined in the low-carbon development strategy. The Planning and Development Single Window System Bill has been sent to a special select committee for further review. Though presenting the bill for a second reading in the National Assembly on Monday, Minister of Housing and Water Colin Crowell said based on consultations with the opposition, it was recommended that the bill be sent to a parliamentary special select committee for consideration. The bill is intended to pave the way for the establishment of the Planning and Development Single Window System, which, according to the minister, will not only reduce the red tape but modernize the process of issuing planning and building permits.
The platform will bring predictability, Mr. Speaker, will bring less bureaucracy, will bring transparency, will reduce cost and compromise, and most importantly, it will bring structure to what may be seen as some inefficiencies in the system.
According to Crowell, the single window system will result in greater predictability, less bureaucracy, greater transparency, and a deduction in costs. When brought into law, the legislation will allow for the establishment of an appeal tribunal and mechanisms to prevent duplication and overlapping of functions.
Users will be able to check the status of their application from the comfort of their home or offices, as well as allow decision makers to monitor the performance of the various agencies and ministries.
In the absence of the legislation, the Housing and Water Ministry, through the Central Housing and Planning Authority, signed a $209.9 million contract with Global Services Inc. for the development and implementation of an information technology solution, or the Single Window Planning and Development System. The government had hoped to implement the system by June of this year, but with the bill being sent to a special select committee, its implementation is more than likely to be delayed for several months. Opposition members of parliament applauded the housing ministry for taking the opposition's concerns and solutions into consideration. Member of Parliament Annette Ferguson told the House that the opposition intends to support the bill, but it has a number of concerns. And weighing in on the bill, Member of Parliament Amanza Walton Desir said the opposition supports the bill and the necessary steps being taken to ensure greater efficiency and ease of doing business. The opposition has also expressed concern about the bill reducing oversight and scrutiny in the approval process.
Fireside Suite, standard and unique. Room fresh and nice, comfortable and neat. 24-hour whole day we a do it. Affordable price on a Garnet Street, yo. Can't vex, cause we top of the line. Fireside are the best, 5-star we a shine. From you come one time, we tag a left on your mind. To tell your family, your friend, them one more time say. Best service a Fireside Suite. Safety ensured on a Fireside Suite. Price them cheap on a Fireside Suite. Come enjoy your stay on a Fireside Suite. Fireside Suite located at 154 Garnet Street, Kitty. For bookings and reservation, call contact number 623-3473.
Individuals are reminded that when filing an individual income tax return, if you have multiple employers, you must file only one individual income tax return. However, the original of each emolument 7B slip obtained from the respective employers must be attached to the return, and the aggregated income should be used to compute your taxes. Remember, only one individual income tax return must be submitted to the Guyana Revenue Authority for individuals with multiple employers.
Let's tell you now that the Natural Resource Fund has a balance of more than $1.4 billion, the Ministry of Finance has disclosed. The disclosure came hours after the Minister of Parliamentary Affairs, Gil Teixeira, tabled a notification of receipts of all petroleum revenues paid into the Natural Resource Fund during the period 1st of January to 31st of March this year. According to the official Gazette, approximately $377.1 million was placed into the NRF during the first 3 months of this year. The Finance Ministry said the notification of the money pumped into the National Resource Fund reaffirms the government's commitment to accountability and transparency in the management of the country's oil resources. Last year, the government withdrew a total of $607.6 million from the NRF to finance national development priorities, it said. The Finance Ministry said the move to strengthen the Natural Resource Fund Act in 2021 was necessary and has proven to be beneficial. The government has pointed out that the International Monetary Fund has commended the government on the amendments made to the NRF Act. The report said that after a thorough review and while restraining the spending of all the oil receipts, the authorities amended the NRF Act in December of 2021, and those amendments set clear ceilings on withdrawals from the fund for budgetary spending. The Ministry of Finance said the government has committed to the continuous management of Guyana's oil resources in a clear and transparent manner to the benefit of present and future generations. Another workplace accident in the mining town of Linden is under investigation tonight. A 43-year-old laborer from Suzdike Linden Highway lost his life today at the Mackenzie Sports Club ground construction site when he slipped off a large timber pile and got hit by another one. The man, Cledwin Richards, was part of a construction team taken to the town to assist in the driving of construction piles into the ground for the new pavilions at the sports facility. A police report said that while he was walking on one of the 6 piles that were packed on each other, he slipped off the piles and fell between 2 others on the ground. Another large timber pile fell on the man's head, pinning him down. With the assistance of other workers at the site, the pile was removed. The motionless body of the 43-year-old man was taken to the Mackenzie Hospital, where he was pronounced dead. The police said he was not wearing any safety gear at the time of the accident. 5 years after his brother's death, a Region 1 man was today remanded to jail for his own brother's murder. 33-year-old Gordon Henry, who was arrested last week after being underrun for the past 5 years, appeared at the Port Kaituma Magistrates Court this afternoon, where the murder charge was read to him. He is accused of carrying out the 2018 murder of his brother Clinton Henry, who was a gold miner. It is alleged that the two brothers were in a drunken state when they got into a heated argument. The older brother was struck to the head and collapsed and died. The accused bolted from the scene and was not seen again until last week, when he was arrested at Northwest District in Region 1 as the police carried out a search for illegal weapons at the shop. Once he was recognized, he was arrested. At today's hearing, he was not required to enter a plea to the murder charge and was remanded to jail. His next court appearance is set for the 6th of June.
Purple Arts Productions presents A Treat for My Mother 6 on Mother's Day, Sunday, May 14th. Herbie Marshall and Strings, Sean Buller, Bunny Hobbs, Ronald Green, Mark Hall, and others. Fashion Trap by Chic and Curvy Fashions at the National Cultural Center, 8 p.m. sharp. Tickets $2,000 and $2,500. Compliments of Kalo City Noodle Cake Creations. Safe Security Systems. Directed by Simone Dowling.
Food Max Supermarket, located on the ground floor of the Giftland Mall, is your one-stop shop for all your grocery needs. We stock a variety of imported frozen meat and food products, fresh produce, and pet supplies, freshly made bread. Rotisserie chicken and patties are also available daily. Shop in comfort today at Food Max and let our courteous staff assist you in satisfying your shopping needs. Food Max, the fresh food specialist.
It's one of your biggest goals, getting your own home, where memories are made, where happiness lives. You may feel that home ownership or renovation is beyond your reach, but we at Republic want you to know that there's always a way. Ask us about our suite of mortgages. Let's help make your housing wishes come true. Or advise on how the equity in your existing home can finance other dreams and goals. Call or go online to learn more.
Look who's in the mix now. The new Buster Soda Water. 0 calories, 0 sugar, 0 artificial flavors. 100% refreshing. Taste Buster Soda Water today. Buster Soda Water. Now available for only $120.
Fuel it up and drive, Super 95. Fuel it up and drive, Super 95. Protect your fuel system, boy. High mileage and performance, boy.
Guy Oil's Super 95 gasoline gives you more reasons to drive and is available at 56 service stations nationwide. For affordable price, high performance, and high mileage, choose Guy Oil's Super 95 gasoline.
Fuel it up and drive.
Across the region tonight, law enforcement officers in the Turks and Caicos Islands stopped 244 illegal migrants in a vessel heading towards the western shores of the islands this morning. According to a report, at around 4:30 this morning, the officers intercepted a 45-foot wooden vessel powered by twin Albert engines transporting illegal Haitian migrants. The migrant vessel was found carrying a total of 240 illegal migrants, 49 females and 191 males, including 2 minors. The illegal migrants were handed over to the Immigration Task Force for processing. The officials said so far for this year, there have been more than 13 interceptions with more than 1,600 illegal migrants. In Haiti, a group of 13 suspected gang members were beaten and burned to death by a mob in the capital after being seized while police were searching for their vehicle. The suspects were reportedly beaten with gasoline-soaked tires before being set alight in the capital on Monday. The police in Haiti said they confiscated weapons from the men just before the incident. They have not explained how members of the public got hold of the suspects. Haiti has seen rising crime and tension since the assassination of President Jovenel Moïse in 2021. The United Nations said in a report recently that insecurity in the capital has reached levels similar to countries at war. And finally tonight, international news. US President Joe Biden has formally announced his bid for re-election, setting off a battle to convince the country that his record merits another 4 terms in the White House, and his age wouldn't impede his ability to govern. In a video released early this morning, Biden framed next year's contest as a fight against Republican extremism, implicitly arguing that he needed more time to fully realize his vow to restore the nation's character. Biden's official declaration ends any lingering doubts about his intentions and begins a contest that could evolve into a rematch with his 2020 rival, former President Donald Trump. Biden enters the race with a significant legislative record, but low approval ratings, a conundrum his advisors have so far been unable to solve. Already the oldest president in history, he also confronts persistent questions about his age. The launch comes 4 years today that Biden made his 2020 bid official. This morning's launch came 4 years to the day that Biden made his 2020 official bid. And that's your News Source Evening Bulletin for tonight. I'm Gordon Mosley reporting and encouraging you to stay safe.